Hey guys, welcome back to TAMIYA Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So a super exciting video for me, this one, for me anyway. I've got a track day coming up, indoor track, carpet. I think it's off-road, so it's got a few jumps. That's about as much as I know about it. It's about an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours away. My good friend Peter is coming to pick me up in the next couple of days, and we're going to head over there. So the main purpose of this video is to get all the cars that I'm taking set up and ready to run. So let's have a look at the cars I've chosen. So the first car is really the reason I'm going now, which is this TAMIYA TT02B that I've done. I did a full series on this car, and hopefully I've upgraded it with all the important hop-ups to keep it running around a track, or that's the plan anyway. But the other plan for this was always to see what goes pop and what we have to replace afterwards. As I say, I've put everything on it that I think it needs. But yeah, you know, whether the diffs go pop, the alloy drive shafts go pop, or whatever breaks, you know, we just don't know. I'm really hoping we don't break anything early on, because I really want this to turn some laps and just get a feel for it. I have ran this before if you've not seen the video, but it was just outside on a car park in mega cold conditions. So yeah, the main purpose of when we're going to the track is for this bad boy, which I'm genuinely super excited about this one. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So the second car of choice is my TRF 201. And yeah, I'm equally excited about running this one. When I bought this car, I just basically cleaned it up and got the MS style, TRF style Team Azuri body shell for it. That's a rock hopper penguin wing. That's a mouthful. And shout out to Craig, who painted it, and it's stunning paint job. But yeah, it was basically just to look good on the shelf. But I really want to take this opportunity to get the electrics in it. Now, I'm really hoping as I do that I'm not going to find any problems. Right off the bat, I don't know what pinion it requires and if I've got the pinion. So that's the first thing we'll look at on this car. But yeah, if we can get past that stage, then it should be plain sailing. And to be running a TRF 201 round a track, putting some laps in, would just be absolutely incredible for me personally. And the third car of choice is the Riri Manta Ray. I've not run this car since I built it, but I have got plans towards the spring and into the summer to use this car a lot for some motor comparison videos that I want to do. But yeah, when I was looking through my collection to sort of what was the third car I wanted to take, it's this one. As I say, it's a new built by me. It's got full bearing kit in it. It's got the alloy prop shaft and cups. It's got an alloy motor mount, so it's pretty much good to go. It really just needs the electrics fitting. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one as sort of the third choice car, as it were. So 3 very cool cars to run. I hope you agree. So yeah, might be a long-winded video this one, so apologies up front, but you guys have been asking me to do longer videos. And I'll just do this video as I'm actually doing these cars. We'll start with the TT02B because that's ready to go. I've got to make a steering mod on it, and I want to change the wheels and tyres over to something I'm going to be running, but we'll bring a camera over next and we'll go through that. So this is going to be a relatively quick one. Second car I'm going to do is the TRF 201, which first port of call is getting a motor in it and making sure I've got a pinion that's going to work. As long as we've got that, rest of it's not a problem. Obviously, we've got to get the rest of the electrics in. We've got to secure the body because it's kind of just sat on at the back. And then there's ride heights and some setup, towing, camber and all that good stuff to have a look at. And then thirdly, we'll get onto the Manta Ray, which 100% I can get that one going because I know I've got the pinions for that. It's just a case of digging electrics out to get all 3 going. So yeah, let's get cracking. Right, so first car, obviously the 02B. As I say, this is good to run. The only thing I've changed on this car recently, I took the outdoor or indoor wheels and tyres off it, which I'm going to put back on it, which were the fluorescent TD4 Starburst wheels, and I've got dual block tyres glued onto them. But a lot of guys wanted to see this with white wheels because it does look good. Now these white wheels are actually 3D printed and came with my 3D printed front wheel drive, 2-wheel drive buggy. from a grumpy modeler. So I'm going to take these with us. Whether the 3D printed wheels will stand up to a track, I have no idea, but I am going to take plenty of other wheels and tyres with me. But at some point I would like to try these out because the wheels are good to go and they're already glued, which is half the battle. So yeah, what I'll do now is we'll whiz the wheels off this one and we'll get the body off it and we'll get in and get that steering modification done. Right, so what I've got to fix is this rod here, the steering link from the servo to the arm to the steering bridge. I've got it on the wrong way around on the servo horn. So I just need to do that and we'll get a battery in it and make sure that's working correctly. Right, that's that quick changeover done. So obviously we've just reversed this and I've also thread locked it as well because we don't want that coming loose. I've just connected the battery up. The radio gear I'm using on this particular car, obviously they'll all be 2.4 gig. This is the Tactic unit. I've got the TT X240 and it comes with an antennaless receiver, which I like. So we'll just turn that on, turn the car on. Now the servo's a digital, it's a ultra low profile digital servo and it's a little bit noisy, but it does run really well. I'll just move that out of the way. So steering wise, as you can see. Now I've not set my steering trim or steering rate just yet because I wanted all that kind of adjustment needs to be done on the track because I have no idea where we're going or what it's going to be like. So that's just got full steering, which is hitting at the moment on one side. But it's a really quick servo, and then we've got power. So yeah, off. Turn the transmitter off. So yeah, that's the kind of setup for this one. Just quickly going over the car if you haven't seen this. So it was a standard TT02B Neo Scorcher. It came to me, shout out to Christopher, it came to me with full bearing set in it. It's been built to a high standard as well. Full bearing set, correct, not TAMIYA diff oils. The front diff's a little bit harder than the rear. And then I've added a ton of bits, so obviously the blue, so we've got alloy prop shaft and cups, we've got the alloy steering, there's an alloy servo horn, we've got FRP shock towers, we've got the DFO-free shocks on it, we've got alloy drive shafts on it, universal drive shafts, and I'm not too sure if there's anything else. Oh, there's obviously the alloy motor mounts in there. Now the gear I'm running is just a combo I had. I keep saying it, but I am going to be ordering a new brushless combo soon. I've not really looked at it yet. But yeah, this is my cheap and cheerful 4370 kV combo, runs on 2 and 3S. And as I say, this thing's never missed a beat for me. The car is pretty incredibly quick as it is right now, so it may well be a little bit too quick for the track depending on the size of it, but obviously that's down to my trigger finger. I'm not going to be messing around putting a less powerful motor in it or higher gearing. I'm just going to run it as it is, or that's my view right now anyway. So yeah, let's get the proper wheels and tyres on it and the body shell back on. Right, so as you can see, I'm not going to be using the blue alloy wheel nuts. I've gone for the standard because I think these are more for show than anything, and I don't want to be losing wheel nuts. There's a chance that could happen. I might have to go to flangeless nuts if I'm losing these nuts. But yeah, the blues are just for show. So I've put the standard kit ones on. So as I said, these are my TD4 Starburst wheels with dual block tyres and foams fitted, and they're glued on. Ran these outside, great. Obviously, the track we're going to will probably have, you know, a set of tyres for that particular surface. But we may end up buying something while we're there because I believe the track is next to, or it's part of a model shop. So, but I think dual blocks will be good enough. Now, the only other thing to look at with this, again, its setup, is the ride heights. Now, the TT02B is quite a low car at the front end, so it's a lot of this track day is going to depend on this ride height. But if I've got quite a lot of droop on this, so as you can see, there is quite a lot of ride height when it's up there, and obviously to get it there I just have to put some more tension on the shocks. Front spring setup, it's quite stiff. Rear, it's a lot slacker. I'll have to put, again, I'll do this at the track, but I'll have to put some adjustment on the rears to get that back end set up a little. Obviously it's got full weight in it right now, but my main concern is just this front end. So as you can see, we can lift it up a bit. Also, you won't better see this on camera, but switching from these wheels and tyres to these gives me about an extra 2 to 3 mil in ride height. Probably can't see that, but I think you get the gist of it. But I do want to give those white tight wheels and tyres a try at some point. So yeah, it's now that car is good to go. We just need to get there and see what the track and what we're dealing with, and then we can adjust. Before we run it, we'll get the ride height sorted out. And lastly, before we leave this car alone, so I'm running a TRF 511 503 body set on this. This is a reproduction Penguin one with the racing wing style. If you want to see how I did all this, if this is the first time you come across this car, all those videos are on this channel. Yeah, I had to cut the wing away. I'm using TD4 rear wing mounts, which are bolted directly into the back casing of the rear gearbox. Really cool, really secure, and yeah, I'm loving it. And we've velcroed the body on, although I've got 2 body pins still with the body posts with the pins. It's velcroed all the way along on either side to seal it. So yeah, that one is ready to go. Right, the second car. So this is my TRF 201, and it is genuinely a thing of beauty, isn't it? Absolutely stunning TAMIYA body shell, rockhopper wing. And this is a proper racing car, isn't it? From TAMIYA, although it's an old one, 2010. But just incredible. I really hope I can get this thing going and on the track. So first job, let's get the body work off it and the wheels and see what we're dealing with. Right, so this is what we're dealing with. The battery runs straight down the middle, servo in here, obviously speedo receiver, and then the motor's right at the back under here. TRF comes standard with the slipper clutch on that lovely alloy motor plate. Again, you know, I don't know. The diff does feel nice. I'm guessing, but I'm pretty certain it's a ball diff on the 201. But I am going to dig the manual out just to check. But you know, fingers and thumbs, that feels good. And then the overall drive is free as you like. Shocks, I've not touched them, but they're awesome. They're super smooth. And then the fronts, I'm saying they're really soft springs, but again, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. Steering wise, I've just dropped a little space, so I've got to be careful. A little shim. Steering servo obviously goes in here, and the arm is there. Now I'll have to figure that out again on the manual. I've just dropped that spacer again. So yeah, first port of call for this, for me, is obviously the motor and the pinion. It's quite difficult for me to tell what pitch that gear is. I'm thinking it's 48 dp. That's what it looks like. So anyway, I'll dig the manual out, and then the motor of choice for this, I'm just going to stick in the TAMIYA BZ motor, which is the sort of off-road motor. It's a 23 turn. I think it knocks out under no load on 7.2 volt. I think it kicks out around 23,500 RPM. So it'll probably be doing that under load and running it on 2S. I would guess it'd be around that. They're really good motors, and don't forget it's a 2-wheel drive car. It is going to be kind of quicker than a 4-wheel drive car. So I think that'll be plenty fast enough for what we're doing. Right, let's crack on. Right, so yeah, I've just been messing around for half an hour because I really want to make sure what I'm doing is correct. So at the back of the 201 manual, it gives us this ratio, and I was really looking to confirm what pitch it was. So it's used a 48 pitch pinion, so that's great. 2 gear options. The 77 tooth spur is the optional. Kit comes with 79 tooth spur. So I've dug out my brand new Racing 48 pitch, and that's a 21 tooth. I actually bought that for the TD4 for the slipper clutch, but I've not obviously fitted that yet. So we've got a 21 tooth. So 79 spur, 21 tooth gives us a ratio of 9.78. So that's pretty good. That's going to be sort of almost maximum acceleration and a little bit less top end, which is kind of perfect. So I'm happy with that. What else? So I've dug the BZ motor out. Now this is a used one, but I really like that motor. The only other problem I've got, so when I got this, I got a lot of spares with it, and I put them all in a bag and I marked it 201 spares, and I've just been looking for it and I can't find that for the life in me, which is really frustrating, because it probably had pinions, it probably had the servo mounts. So bit of an issue, but we'll get to that set later. But shout out to Van Tat, he's actually just sent me this, a little box of bits that he always does, and into the latest box has these alloy servo posts. So I'm hoping I can get a by with using them in the chassis, but nevertheless we are jumping. So next port of call now, I'll get the manual and we'll find the correct screws and what have you, and we'll get that motor all lined up and fitted. Right, first problem of the day. So I've dug the motor screws out. Obviously, let's say we've got the 21 tooth 48 pitch pinion. So with the motor moved over as close as it'll go to the spur gear, the meshing's nowhere near. So I'm guessing that's I don't know what actually size spur that'll be, but that's a massive problem. Anyway, luckily I've just found my 201 spares that I got with the car. Some cool stuff in there. So there's a brand new pack of front springs. As I say, they were particularly soft on the front, but I'll take those with us in case I need to change those. I've in there I've got a 77 tooth spur, which is awesome. Doesn't look much bigger, but anyway, so I think worst case scenario we'll get away with that one. I've got a 201B plastics, so that's got some wing mounts, battery holder, rear gear cover, front bumper, so that's useful. I've also got the 201 aluminium rear what do you call it, suspension mount, but I'm guessing that's fitted. No, it's not fitted. That's that, oh sorry, that's that bit there. So I've got an aluminium one. I might be wanting to change that over. Oh my god, these things never go straight. And more importantly, I've just found this, which is a bag of bits that came with it, and I'm looking and I'm hoping to see, oh, there's a pinion in there as well. Okay, and there's also spur gear, so let's get it opened up and see what we've got. Right, so I think we're going to be able to go ahead with this. So again, don't know what spur gear's on there, we'll have a look when I take that off, but we have got the optional 77, which I can't believe that is, because with the 77 optional spur, the 21 tooth pinion is supposed to fit. So that's a bit odd, but I have found in the spares bag the 79 tooth spur, and I'm just looking. I don't think it's been used, it looks new, so I think we'll go with standard gearing, the 79 tooth spur with 21 tooth pinion. So now obviously we've got to take the slipper clutch out, so this is getting more involved. And I have also found the servo horn for it, and the aluminium ball end, so I'm hoping when we get to that bit we can use that. But again, now let's take the slipper clutch apart, and if I can get in and fit this alloy brace, I'll do so. Right, so after a lot of messing around, we've now got the 79 spur gear on, and the 21 pinion, and it's all bolted down hard now, and I've hopefully got the meshing pretty cool. A lot of those magnets are really strong in the BZ, but yeah, left a gap. Probably, I don't know if you can see that on big screen, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that meshing. Again, we can adjust it, But anyway, downside of that is obviously the slipper clutch may have been set up already, so we'll probably have to mess around with the slipper when we get there, for depending on the grip. So yeah, what I'll do is now I'll get the rear gear cover on and the back bumper back on. Right, that's that back end done, so I can forget about the motor for now. That's all in there nicely, covers on, and we've got the little cover that just snaps off, so we can adjust the slipper clutch as and when. Clip that back on. Yeah, that's really cool. Right, now I'm going to mess around with the servo. I didn't find any mounts. Oh, just backtrack very slightly to gearbox. I said earlier on I was pretty certain it was a gear diff. I believe I said it's actually not. It's a ball diff. But as I say, feels pretty darn good to me. Yeah, so I've got these alloy servo mounts, and we've got this servo horn and bracket. So yeah, I'll bodge it about and see if we can get it to fit. I'll just show you the servo I'm using. Bought this for the TD4, so it's obviously a low profile SPT. I think I got it off Amazon. 12 kg servo. It's not fantastic, but yeah, it's good enough. So we'll get that in there and hopefully get this set up. Right, so that servo and the mounts look like it's a goer. So I've only just sat it in now just to, I've not tightened it up, but I just wanted to make sure everything was long enough. Had to take the screws out of the mount and find some countersunk, which got the posi head on, to keep it all countersunk. So that looks like that's going to be a goer. So now I'll whiz that servo back out and see if this servo horn I've got for it will fit on that particular servo. Right, we've had a bit of good luck for once. So the servo's all great, everything fits. So the servo horn that was in the spares, really nice tight fit onto the actual servo. I've now tightened the ball end on, just put the dust cover on it. But what I need to do now is I need to centre this servo, so I need to put some power through it, centre it on the trim. And then hopefully it's just a case of once it's centered, is just put it in and connecting it up. Right, we're getting somewhere. So I'll just turn transmitter on and the speed up. So obviously I've not got the motor connected, but steering wise, got it now going the right direction to reverse it. And trim wise, there's loads. This is a trim. Oh god, that's a throttle, sorry, I do apologise, just bear with me. So steering wise, trim, there's plenty of adjustment, so that's really cool. Servo's not the quickest, but it's not bad. But anyway, at least it's in there now, so that's cool. So next process is, let me just turn everything off. So I'm just connect this battery. So I'm using my Tekken high-end brush speedo for this one, but I do need to set this up as I put it in the car, before I put it in the car. So yeah, that's just it actually. Just do a setup on the speedo, and then we'll figure out where these motor wires thread through. Hoping I don't have to trim my new body, but if we do, we do. Right, let's crack on. Right, I'm really chuffed with that. That's, apart from the early problems with the pinion and spur, that's gone together really well. So everything's stuck down. And the beauty of this thing is just the wiring. You've just got so much space for it. So we've got the speedo here, obviously, switches just on some tape, receivers there, battery wires just kind of go across the middle, and there's loads of room for the shell to fit. The only thing I have to do some work on the shell and do a bit of velcroing. But what I'll just do quickly, I'll just turn the transmitter, oh actually, I'll just connect the battery, show you it all. So, where are we? So as you can hear, I've just recalibrated the speedo now. So steering and full throttle. And we've got brake now. It's funny, I must have done a very quick setup on this every time I've been using that speedo, and the brake's been really weak, but that sounds much better. It's actually got reverse as well. Yeah, yeah, very, very happy with this. I'm excited. So, next job now is to just sort the body out. Right. Oh, do you know what? I'm mega excited about the TTO2B, but now I've got... I think I expected something to go wrong while I was trying to get the electrics in this, because I thought there might be bits missing. Again, I bought it and it was straight for the shelf. But now everything's in and it's working. Oh my God. This is going to sound pathetic, but I don't care. I'm actually going to have a genuine TRF car looking like a TRF car on a track. That is just super cool. Anyway, I've now put, it has got a front body post on, so I've put a big large body pin through that, and then I've velcroed either side, and that's pretty solid. So I guess next thing to do now is whiz this top back off, get the wheels on, and let's see what the ride height's looking like. Right, so I just had to whiz the wing back off so I could make some adjustments to the rear shocks. It was sagging on back end. So again, this is just it's not really set up. I've just got it sort of a level ride height. We'll do that at the track. But I've not touched these shocks since I've got it, so all the droop is there. So that's all the way down. See if it'll just... So it is drooping a little bit, but you get the idea. But there you go. Plenty. And again, just get them down, drop. The way it's doing it, it's got a slight bit of forward rake, which I believe you need. That is absolutely fantastic. Now I've got the wheels on. It's the first time I've been able to feel the diff properly. It really does feel nice. It really does. And then obviously if I hold the wheel, I can feel the motor. And again, that sounds... It feels great. Interesting enough, on the 201, which I didn't know, it doesn't bottom out at the front. There's a gap. Doesn't actually bottom all the way out, which is interesting. I think the back does. Yeah, the back does. Damn! God, I'm excited. Right, I really think that's as far as I can go with it, to be honest. But what I am going to do now is I'm just going to stick all the bodywork on, and I am just going to take it outside very quickly. Unfortunately, I can't bring you guys and girls with me because I've got no one to hold the camera. But I just want to see a rough idea of how quick it is, really. Whew, okay, just back in. So, successful first run. Again, I was only out for 3-4 minutes, just making sure it's going in a straight line and what have you. Initial thoughts are just fantastic. Obviously, it's on tarmac and it's freezing cold out there. But yeah, it runs well. It does what it's supposed to do. I couldn't hear the slipper clutch, but the tyres were slipping a little bit. So I might have to slacken at the track. I might have to slacken that off and just maybe just before we take it around the track, just set that slipper up correctly. Steering is insane. The amount of angle you get. Let's see if I can show you. Some serious angle on that. But again, we'll get that set up. Ride height, difficult to say when I was just out there. I say we've got all that if I want to take the shocks right up there, but it kind of finds its own level at that, which I think that's a really good starting point. So the only negative, and it's not a biggie, is with the 23 turn BZ motor, it's not as quick as I thought it was going to be. Now again, we're on standard gearing, and we're being very conservative really. Let me just open that manual up, see what that gearing was. So we're on 79 spur 21.2, so we got 978. But it does take a 20, so it's not the lowest setting. But if I had a 25 tooth with the same spur, I can get to 822. So it is a little bit conservative speed-wise. Now, I was just looking, so I have got the optional 77 tooth spur, and on the same pinion, it does, yeah, it makes it a little bit more top end, but nothing massive to be honest, really. Anyway, I think what I'll do is, I think I'll take the TAMIYA super modified 11 turn motor with me as well. Again, I don't know the size of a track. If it's a very big track with a long straight, this isn't going to be that exciting getting it round down the straight. But I've got a sneaky feeling it's quite a smallish track where this speed might be absolutely cock on for it. Anyway, I'm absolutely over the moon. That's the first time I've drove a TRF 201 and I cannot wait now to get this on the track. Right, I'll tidy up and we'll get on to the next car. Right, I've just had a big coffee break and now on to car 3. I'm struggling to think what I'm going to put in this. I'm thinking I'm going to put I've got a brand new Superstock RZ. Again, it's only a 23 turn. But because I've just run that BZ in the TRF 201, it wasn't slow, but depends on the track, size of a track. But I was also thinking I'll take a 3S battery with me, and that'll really liven that 201 up should I need it. So if I fit that in this and run maybe a Hobbywing 1060, if this is too slow, then I've got the option of 3S as well. But I will take a couple of other motors. I've got an Orion 13 triple, and I've got the TAMIYA super modified 11 turn. So I'll take those as well, and then that kind of covers all bases, I think. I'm also thinking, as standard, we'll run these 3D printed wheels and tyres on this, and we'll just see how that goes. These may be useless on carpet, and we may need to change over to the dual blocks for better traction. No idea until we get there. Anyway, yeah, let's strip this down a little bit and see what we're dealing with. Right, so this is what we're dealing with. I've unfortunately had to take the Advantage cockpit out of there because that ain't going to go to a racetrack. So what we've got here is a brand new built Riri Manta Ray from 2018. I built it. We've got the alloy motor mount in there, as you can see, and we've also done the alloy prop shaft and cup conversion, and it's got full bearings in it. I have taken the shock collars, the adjustable shock collars off, because just to get it sort of sitting right on the shelf. So I'm going to have to put those back on at the end of this video. So we've got some shock adjustment. And I've also got I put an old knackered servo in there, and that was just so the cockpit would sit on there on foam. So yeah, let's start with the motor. That's probably the best place to start. Right, I was just looking at ratios. I know the DF01 chassis really well, and I know with standard gearing, 21's your biggest pinion it'll fit. But really, I don't want the biggest pinion it'll fit. This hasn't got the speed tuned gear set in there, this is just standard. So just looking at the instructions. So sorry, I have dug out a 20-tooth, steel 20-tooth pinion. So that takes us to a ratio of 9.02. I probably would have liked an 18 in the middle of the road, but again, I don't know what the track is. So anyway, we're not putting the motor under full stress with a 21, so knocking it down 1 tooth will help. I've got the spacer to get the pinion on. So yeah, I'll whiz this alloy motor mount out and let's get it fitted. Right, that's the motor in. Very straightforward. Obviously, you just got to make sure you get your screws in the right place to get your meshing correct. So that's set up for the 22. I just stuck the rear wheels on just to try it, and that's fine, that's all good. So motor's in place. So what I'll have a look at now is the steering. Obviously we'll have to take this servo out, and I'll dig out a servo, see if I've got something reasonably quick. Right, that's the steering in. As you can see, I've just rigged it all up loosely. Let's see if you can see the steering. I'm not too sure this is all going to hold up with jumps and stuff, but we will see. So it's not a particularly fast servo, but it's probably the best I've got. Obviously I've now put my 2 best servos in the other 2 cars, so this is probably like 3rd choice. But anyway, it's going to do the job. Right, let's get the, we'll just get the speedo and receiver stuck down now and tidy the wiring up. Right, so I just wanted to give it another test just before I tidy the wires up. So the 1060 double-sided down here, switches on the inside, receivers up here. Because this it's not an antennaless Spectrum receiver, so I've run the little antenna down here. We've got this little antenna tube, which is kind of dinky, and just connected the motor wires up, and we have full functionality. So steering going the right way and forward, and brake and reverse. So what I've done is I've set the jumpers up on the 1060, obviously for LiPo and forward, brake, reverse. I can alter that later if I don't want the reverse. I don't think it makes a difference. So yeah, let's get these wires tidied up. Right, so it's a little bit crude wiring wise, but everything's out of the way. The battery's a real pain to get in because it's got wires coming out either side instead of down the middle. So that's a bit of a pain, but anyway, it's all working. So yeah, that's the electrics in. I'm pretty happy with that. I've also put a 6mm hole in here, so if I can do it around the camera. So that goes over, just put that down. Right, so that's sitting there, and yeah, there's nothing. Oh, I need but I'll tell you what it is. I need a smaller battery holder. That's what's keep it hitting the body. I'll get a shot of one of those now. But yeah, that's the shell sat properly, so that's cool. So I think I'll sort that pin out. I'm keeping the battery in it for its overall weight. And then we need to look at the suspension. So I'll stick some tyres on it and we'll just see what the stance is looking like. Well, not so much stance, but the clearance. Right, so as I say, full weight of the car. These are the wheels I'll probably go with, but I very much doubt they'll be any good on the track. I'll probably have to switch to dual blocks, but we'll put these on for now. So as you can see, I've not put the shock collar adjusters on yet, but back end's way too soft, and the front is. So if I just push that car down, so we've got all that, and then watch it sag. So yeah, I need to unscrew the bottom of the shocks, I think, and get those collars on next. Right, so that was the last thing to do really on the chassis. So the adjustable shock collars are on. Just by putting the shock collar on the front, that's kind of sorted the front end out. Again, loads of droop. But rears, I've had to put some adjustment down, some tension. So as you can see, at full ride height, it's up there, and then there is really hardly any droop, but if I push it down, you get where it's coming back to. Looks about right to the eye, but yeah, there's a lot of suspension. But again, we'll probably adjust at the track. But full, and then you see it dampens really well. I like these shocks. So yeah, plenty there. Right, what I'll do is just say them again quickly. I'll just go out and give this a quick blast on the tarmac, just make sure everything's going in the right direction. Right, that one's really good, but Speedo 1060 going into limp mode, and that went into limp mode after about, I don't know, it didn't seem long, 40-50 seconds. Interesting fact, obviously that's a brand new RZ motor, so it's the same RPM just about as the BZ that's in the TRF 201. This is way quicker. It just shows you how that TRF 201's geared with that standard gearing. This is actually quite a bit quicker, which is interesting. So I'm happy with this. I don't think we'd have to do anything with it, but obviously we've got a problem now. So massive shout out to Van Tat, who actually just sent me this the other day. So obviously it's a brand new Hobbywing 1060. So I'm going to swap the old one out and put this new one in. A lot of people think the black ones are copies. They're actually not. So even though this is like full Hobbywing spec, I still think this may well go into brush mode, limp mode, sorry. So yeah, I'll have to cut all my tyre wraps, take my wiring out, dig this one out, put this one back in. And the only drawback of this one, I'm pretty certain this has got a TAMIYA connector on, where obviously I normally use Dean's, so that means I'm going to have to use an adapter in between to make the connection. But there's plenty of room there, it's just I'll probably redo my wiring. Anyway, I'll get cracking on that now. Right, that's it swapped over. So that's the brand new 1060 in there. This is what I'm on about now, because maybe tomorrow I'll have time to solder a Dean's onto it. In fact, I don't have a Dean's connector and I forgot to order them. Damn, I forgot all about that. Anyway, it's no biggie, it just adds, what's it add? It adds kind of that much on, so about 1.5 inches. So I've buried the front of the Speedo wires down the front, and obviously the body's going to push them down. So yeah, I mean, TAMIYA connectors are pretty naff, but for what we're doing, it's going to be fine. So yeah, that's good to go. What a day. That's taken me a full day to get those 3 cars ready, and that one was almost done. So effectively, it's taken me nearly a day to get 2 cars done. Anyway, really enjoyed that. It's been a while since I've tried to get numerous cars together ready to run all in one sitting. And yeah, I need to do more of this, to be honest. I do get a bit lazy. So yeah, so quick recap. So TTO2B, that's quick enough. Perhaps a little bit too quick, maybe, but we'll see. Again, because I don't know what this track is going to look like size-wise. But that's ready to go. Obviously, when we get there, we'll see what the jumps are like, and before I go around, we'll make sure we've got enough ground clearance. But that one, yeah, it's ready to go. TRF 201, it's not that quick with the BZ motoring and the standard gearing. So again, we'll see what it's like, but I think I could just swap to 3S on that just to give it to liven it up, and I think that'll be more than fine, to be honest. And then Manta Ray, which I said that is running quick with the brand new RZ and 22th pinion. So I don't envisage that needs to be any quicker. So yeah, I think we're good to go. I'm going in the next couple of days. A lovely gentleman called Peter's picking me up early morning. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there. It's a hobby shop with an indoor track at the end of it. Never been before. And we're there all day, I believe. So hopefully I'll get quite a lot of running footage. I plan to do separate videos. I want to try and get my money's worth YouTube wise, so we'll concentrate on the TTO2B first, and we'll get some footage of that, and we'll run it until either I'm bored or something breaks, and then we'll move on, and so on. And Peter's bringing a few cars as well, so I'll get to drive his team associated B74 again. Nice. So I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, no idea how long this video's been, but you did ask for longer videos. I'm feeling quite accomplished sat here right now, just ending this video. Feel like I've actually done some good work today. I think these tyres will be fine. These will be fine, obviously, the same. These wheels and tyres may have to go onto Manta Ray when we run it. I don't imagine these being very good on carpet. I've got another set of like Top Force wheels and tyres I'll take with me, and we might have to buy some wheels and tyres when we're there if we're not getting enough, or if we're not getting any traction. I mean, I'm not going there to race. I'm just going there to have fun and to spin some laps. But yeah, it's got to handling's got to be reasonable, so I enjoy it. So yeah, I think that's about it. So a massive thank you to everyone who's watched to the end. Honestly, massively appreciated. And if you are new to this channel and you're still here, well done. I'm very impressed. So if you've done that, go give this video a thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you don't mind, and if you do those two things, go hit that notification bell for our weekly videos, and that would be absolutely massively appreciated. And as always, my friends, happy RCing.